Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
I blacked out behind the wheel and killed my best friend.
I woke up and realized I'd urinated on my wife. Oh, that bitch was mad.
Drinking is always a lot of fun, but sometimes we all need to stop for a while. But you don't want to quit because you'll miss the buzz. Smokers have the tobacco patch. Now try the Alco patch. It's the same refreshing feeling of your favorite drink, but delivered transdermally and discreetly. Pick up the Alco patch at your local pharmacy.
Shut up and sit down.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Third Shift. This is episode 454, and I, of course, am your host, your funky leader, the greatest man who's ever lived. It's me, it's Matt, and I'm pumped for the show today. And with me, as always, it's a person who may or may not be pumped for the show. I don't ever have any idea. He usually gives me just like this face. And I'm like, is that a good face or is that a bad face? And he doesn't know, and you don't know what that face was. I could have made any kind of face, guys. You have no idea. But with me, as sometimes, always, mostly always, it's the Lightbearer, bringing the Beastmaster. Third Shift, it's Eric, and he's here to tell us how his week was. Hey, Eric, how was your week?
Hey, listen, man, my face don't change much. Sorry. Whether I'm happy, sad, my parents complained about it when I was a freaking kid, okay? They used to tell me, oh, you don't seem like that appreciative of the Sega Genesis we just got you, Eric. And I'm like, no, it's awesome. I'm happy. I really am. Jeez.
No, I've seen an Eric happy face. I've seen that. Well, it's drunk happy though, so it might be different.
It's usually drunk happy. Yeah, drunk happy is way different, man. My normal life when I'm not drinking is just mostly just.
I'm making the face again, folks. You can't see it.
He's making a face again. It doesn't tell you if I'm happy or sad. Just is what it is. Life is life, man. All right, don't judge. Don't be too harsh. It's a good time. We're here. I don't mind being here. I'm glad to be doing the show. We've been doing the show a long time. Very happy about it. I was hoping for a 5-star review, but did we get one? Did we not? You'll have to wait till the end of the show to figure that out. Maybe we did. Maybe we didn't. I don't know. But anywho's, I am here. And this week was pretty cool because I went down to visit my sister and my brother-in-law and their family. We went to Kings Island like 3-4 days in a row, rocking it out, riding roller coasters, having a blast. And in the evenings, I played Clair Obscure, Matt. And I finally got to that point. I said, you know what? I've done a ton of endgame stuff. Not all of it, but I've done a ton of it. I'm good. I feel good. I'm good. So I went and beat the game over the weekend while I was down there. And it was fantastic. Awesome game. And the choice you get to make at the end is really cool. And the different endings for, whichever choice you make, also extremely cool. This game is for, it's an adult game, man. This is why you're going to love this game. This ain't kids going, wow, we saved the world. We're playing, whoa. No, it's mired in adult themes and what actually happens when stuff goes this way or that way or the other way. And it was just neat to have an ending where I'm happy with it, but at the same time, I'm very unhappy with it. I'm like, nope, this is right. This is what I would do. However, stuff happens. It's the way the world works. You got to deal with it and you got to cope. So with anything else, nothing else said, just saying, really cool, Matt. Can't wait to see what your take is when you play it someday, some year, some when. It'll be awesome. It'll be very awesome. And then we'll talk about it, but it'll be like 5 years from now. Then we'll like, remember that game, that Clair Obscure? And they'll already have their next game out because, spoiler alert, it isn't in the show notes at all or anything, but they have announced that they are currently already working on another game. Obviously, it's way, 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 way out. But they didn't announce anything about it, what it is. They said that the experience they've had together and the team building they've had together, making Clair, and being that it's an RPG, will help them with the next game. So there's your big hint. Doesn't mean it's going to be an RPG, it just means that, it all helped them out. So very exciting for that. So yeah, games beat. Love to talk about it. Can't because Matt's going to play it. I will just say it's really good. If you haven't played that game, go play that damn game because it is a chef's kiss. And then I also got really ramped up on Doom the Dark Ages. I immediately followed through from Claire with that. And over the course of the weekend with the fam and being here, I'm on like mission 10 or 11, which I don't know if that's far or not. Probably not too far because I just got into like the introductory dragon riding missions, the introductory mech riding missions and all that. So I'm sure there's many more missions to come, but it's a delight. It really is. And the reason why is because it's calmed down. It's still difficult, but not nearly as difficult as the Doom Eternal was. But if you're not paying attention and you're not taking the shots that you need to parry the moves back, you will die and you'll waste all your free lives, etc., etc. But you don't really got to worry about ammo, and you can find life, you can find armor this time around. And the very best part is that it takes a little bit from the old school Doom, where when you get into a level, you can explore. It's opened up, and you can go this way, that way, any which way, and the secrets are already there on your map. So you can be like, yep, I do want to get all the secrets. And so you can start secret hunting and finding all the cool little gizmos, gadgets, lore pieces, etc., etc. Or you can just skip it all and follow the linear path to the end of the mission and keep on carrying on. So it gives you that opportunity to do whatever you want. But I love the fact that it gives you the open world ability to just like an old school Doom, just explore. Just go around the corner, do this, do that, find out what's here, what's there. You know a secret's here, but you don't really know how to get it. So then you start wandering around, see if there's switches anywhere, or if there's any side, kind of like side bump you got to jump up to and then fall down like a little ravine. I really enjoy it. It's nice to be at a slower clip this time around because I felt it got overwhelming in Eternal when I was flying around the damn map, not knowing what I was doing, just shooting and trying to, chainsaw through baddies to get more ammo and whatnot. This one isn't anything like that. Some don't like it, some do, but I personally really do dig it. The mech battle stuff, kind of what it was that old game where, the punch, 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 and then the head pops off, the little, you just click buttons, left, right, left, right, left, right. That's kind of what the mech battle stuff is like. It's not complicated. It's nothing, overly cool or crazy. I still think it's fun. Just the cinematic effects of it all, where you're just lumbering around this gigantic mech and you're seeing the city as they're battling it out on foot, and you're in this enormous freaking 50-story mech, and then you're killing these other gigantic 50-story bad guy demons. It is a spectacle, and I have a lot of fun with it. But the dragon riding, Matt, was really, really, really good. First off, they introduce you in, of course, epic, badass Doom-style way to your dragon. I won't say more, but I will say it's a really cool introduction. And then after that, they've got a lot of segments where you're kind of free flying around and you're just taking out these different ships and different objectives while you're flying on the dragon, because you have like basically a 50 cal mounted to this bad boy, and you're just shooting and going to town. But then they also have these segments where it's like, oh, you got to chase this ship. And then you get like these Panzer Dragoon segments where you're flying through pillars and tunnels and doing all sorts of, swoops and whatnot, going at fast speeds, all the while trying to shoot and take out the ship. Having a blast. Can't wait to play it. That's probably what I'll be playing this weekend. This game probably won't be super long. I imagine I'll probably beat it within the week if I get a good segment of it, this weekend. But all the same, great times. Can't wait to play that and then play some other games. Not sure what I'll get back to after that, but that's been the week, Matt. It's been it, as far as I remember. What about you?
It's been a pretty packed week, especially weekend. Started off with Saturday afternoon, went out to the Wharton Center, saw Hamilton. It's the third time I've seen it, and it was funny because I've never thought about this with any other musical, but with Hamilton, after the second time that it came to Wharton Center, I bought the CD, and I've listened to that Broadway cast recording for a long time. I'll throw it on as I'm driving around the car. And as we were driving to the show, I thought to myself, I know this Broadway cast recording and the voices and everything and how they deliver these songs and these lines so well. Am I going to be like taken out of it when it's this touring performance? Because they're always good, but it's different. Everybody sings everything different. And for the first 5 minutes, I was like, whoa, what's going on here? That's not, whoa, what's happening? But then immediately, everybody was totally different from the cast performance, but all really good in their own way. And I feel like they turned up the comedy for this round of it. Like, it's always had funny lines and stuff, but the performances were a lot more funny in and of themselves. So it was like a different spin on it almost, even though it's the same song, same music, same play and everything. But it was so much fun. And here's the other weird thing is I was talking to Mom after the show, and she was like, the guy who played Aaron Burr, obviously characters look off the stage a lot. It happens in all musicals. She was like, I feel like he was looking like right at me. And I went, yeah, I had that same feeling too, because it just felt like that. And I don't talk about this with every show that I go to, so I was like, oh, that's weird. But oh well, he did great. He was another one who was very different from the Broadway recording, but really cool in his own right. I really liked him by the end of the show. So Eric knows this. Anybody who follows me on Instagram knows I post up a picture of the program when I'm at the theater, and I say, hey, it's showtime, folks, blah, blah, blah. And I tag the theater. And that's it. I don't expect anybody to interact with it or anything. But I looked, like the theater liked the post. Okay, they do that a lot. Mom liked it. One of my cousins, I think, liked it. And then, hey, who's this guy? I don't even remember the name right now. Like John Barbubo. Huh. Click in. The one person outside of the circle and the normal people who liked it was the guy who played Aaron Burr. The one guy. I'm like, is that? I screenshotted it. I texted it to Mom. I'm like, it seems weird because he was looking. He swear to God he was looking right at me. And then I found that man's post. Gonna like it. But a great show, great performance. Hamilton is awesome. I love it. Obviously, I listened to the Broadway recording, and this one was great too. The very next day, went out to Williamson Theater to see a one-woman show called Baba, which was, like I said, a one-woman show from a lady who I've seen a lot of times. She does really good work. I really like her acting. And it was like half in the past where she played her dad, and then half in the present where she played the daughter. Which it wasn't her, but it was, the character. It was really good. And she's one of those actresses who, when you see her going through an emotional thing, like after that scene is done, she literally is wiping the tears away. So it was impactful. And I heard people as they were walking out saying, oh man, I was crying so many times during there. It was good. It was a good show. I enjoyed it too. I wasn't crying or anything, but she did a great job. Later that night, speaking of a great job, AEW did a great job with their Double or Nothing pay-per-view. Top to bottom, God, that company's just the best. I love their pay-per-views. It was another awesome show. And then, let's see, what else did I do on the video game front? Got in a big stream of Xenogears, and I was blowing it. I was totally blowing it for some reason. I'm good at puzzles. I like puzzles. But man, that stream, I was just like, I don't know how to do it. What am I doing? Where am I going? What's this puzzle? I got lost a couple times. I had, one of the experts in the chat with me helping out. But I will say the one puzzle I redeemed myself with was the 5 gallons in the 6-gallon bucket with the 4-gallon bucket also from Die Hard with a Vengeance. They had a similar puzzle in there that I don't remember at all because I've only gotten to disc 2 twice in my life. And I went, oh yeah, stand back, boys. I know what I'm doing. So that's great. It's fun. It's getting into like the really heavy stuff. The actual thing that you see in the very beginning of the game, the very first FMV sequence, it finally has returned, and seeds are being sprinkled for all the stuff that you've seen all throughout the game, and you didn't really realize that was all tied into this one thing, and that's great. And the other game I played, and I haven't played enough of it, but I've been playing a little bit here and there, is 100 Line Last Defense Academy. The game is still great. We went out and we did the thing that we got the B team instead of the A team for, and it was a really fun boss fight, and I kicked some ass, and there was really creepy sequences afterwards, and we still don't really know what's going on, and there's all kinds of twists and turns, and not active twists and turns, but like, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Oh man, Matt, what do you think is really going on? And I go, I don't know. And then it goes, hey, it's free time. And I go, I just wanted more story. But free time's still fun. It's just not as actively fun. I finished up, hopefully, I think I'm towards the end of the free time now. The last time I played it, which was yesterday for about an hour. I can't wait for more things. I still don't even know what is going on with the... So I can't wait to find out what is going on in this game, because I have hints and maybes, but I don't believe the things that people are telling me, and I'm excited to see what's going on. So that's been me this week. It's been a pretty good week. Shows and events, and not as many video games as I want, but video games too. Hell yeah.
Everything's been done, Mr. Matt, everything. And on that note, we've got another thing that maybe we'll play, maybe we won't. I don't know. Guess we'll see. As I talk to you and as me and Matt talk about it, off air at some other time. And that, of course, is something we've talked about on air already. That's Elden Ring Nightreign. Of course, that's done by From Software. It's out May 29th. That's today, right now. You can get it. And it is not a single player game, Matt. It's not. It's a multiplayer game. Up to 3 folks, 1, 2, or 3 of you and your buddies can get on into the old lands in between and have some fun. Now, this story, of course, is like an alternate dimension. Takes place with some weird or cool characters who embody the different kind of categories that Elden Ring peeps have. You know, the sorceress, the big tanky dude, the assassin, etc., etc., etc. And you will embody one of those cool characters with all their unique abilities, and then you and your buddies will plummet into the lands between, and you have to stop the Night Lords. So, in general, what's going to happen is a day cycle will happen, and you will roam around trying to kill mini bosses, find all sorts of runes, weapons, etc. to get your abilities and your strength up. And then a night cycle will happen. And then in that night cycle, you'll fight a mini boss. And if you successfully beat that mini boss, you'll get more rewards. And then the circle will tighten around you. And then in the day cycle, you'll have more time to roam around again. And each of these cycles, the day cycles anyway, take about 15 minutes or so roughly. After that, a second night cycle will hit. You'll do another mini boss, and you'll get the rewards from that. And if you beat them, then you get to fight one of the Night Lords, one of the big dog bosses. And everything you've gotten, all the weapons you've gotten, all the runes you've gotten, everything you've done to perk yourself up, you're going to want to do in accordance whatever the boss is coming, because they all have an elemental weakness. So you're going to want to make sure that you're building towards that. And by doing this, it's going to take time. From what the reviews all state, you're not going to have time to find anything. You're going to have to just go shoot for the moon on every day cycle, hoping and praying that you're getting to the right thing for a while. After a while, even though it's not procedure generated, they do the same clumps, but they put them in different spots. So after a while, you're going to kind of know, like, oh, over here, this church is going to have one of these baddies, and they're going to give you this or this or this or this. And that's what's going to get you through the game, because you're eventually going to start to know, okay, this Night Lord's going to be what we're up against. We're going to need this elemental weakness. You're going to start to find and know where to go to get the different runes and weapons that are going to help you get through that boss. And you're going to get those, and you're going to accrue those, and then you're going to win. Up until that point, from what I'm hearing, this game's hard as nails. Hard as nails. If you played Elden Ring and you use like Mimic at all, this is not going to be a pleasant experience, because from all reports, this game is like Elden Ring on hard mode. And that's already terrifying in and of itself. And what I mentioned earlier about multiplayer, Matt, is because, once again, from several reviews, we got IGN, you got Kind of Funny, 1 or 2 more, I think Push Square I looked at, etc. They all said the same thing. If you don't have the 3 players, you're going to be in trouble. Now, when I say that, obviously we all know the reality. Eventually there's going to be a bunch of one-person players that are going to dominate everything and be insane. But from all the reviews, if you don't have 3 people, this is extremely difficult. And if you're running solo, you might as well just refund the game and give it back, because you're not going to win. That's what they were all saying, all of them. So I sat there going, well, I only got one friend. It's Matt. I wonder if me and Matt could just do it, 2 of us. And I said, Eric, you suck at this. You suck. You're not going to be able to do this. So, and it's not like Matt's a king, but,
Matt's
so
a king. What are you talking? Yes, hell
I'd say
yeah.
Matt, an average player, Eric, a suck player. We're not going to be able to do this. We're not going to be able to win this. And the random experience, from what I hear, is kind of annoying, kind of hit or miss with what you get. It's From Software, so you can imagine the multiplayer's a little wacky woo, just like always.
That's the one thing I actually did hear. I watched, I think, about half of Iron Pineapple's review of it. And he said, at least in this one, you can invite players like your friends to a lobby instead of like,
Yes.
oh, put your finger down. Oh, hopefully I'm in the right place when I do my little schnoozhy schnower. So at least that, like, if you want to match up with your actual team, you can apparently actually do it this time.
Yes, that is the only improvement. Is you can get into a little crew and then you roll right out. But if you want to get randos, there's no like cool. It doesn't match make you with skill levels or anything like that. And then of course people, once you're in the map itself, can wander off and do whatever they want. They can try to take charge and start pinging the map where they think you should go, but nobody has to listen. You know that it's a typical multiplayer experience. You might get some bozos just off doing their own thing, and then your chances of survival decrease and decrease. There is resurrection in this in the daytime. So while you're roaming around, you can resurrect, but it costs you a level to resurrect. And then, of course, while you're fighting the two bosses, or I should say three, the two mini bosses and the big boss, you can resurrect your teammate. But it takes a bunch of stamina to do so because you have to attack them to resurrect them. So it becomes that game of, do I have enough stamina and time to hit them to resurrect them before I get hit again and or run out of stamina, then I'm dinking around and I can't counterattack or do anything. Is it worth it? So you have to play that game as well. And then, of course, with the weapons, as I mentioned earlier, you're going to have your primary weapon. There's no armor in this game. It's all about the weapons, runes, and whatnot. But what's really neat is that your weapons, you can carry, I think it's up to 6 of them. And the one equipped, obviously, will be what the damage is and plus its skill sets. But the ones that are unequipped, but in the slots, the 5 slots, you will get benefits like added HP or regeneration or bonus crit to every kill, whatever it is. Then so you get to build on those weapon slots as well and craft a build based off the weapons you're carrying. So that also plays in the game because then you got to start to learn what baddies and where are going to have what weapons, and then what baddies and where are going to have what runes that you're going to want to equip to go up against the baddies and the Night Lord and whatnot. It looks really cool. It does give me that vibe, that feeling like I want to get in there and play it again because I really enjoyed Elden Ring. We've talked about it a million times, but I keep hearing that it's difficult and that it's merciless and that there is no time to explore. So if you're playing, you just go, and then all you can do is kind of memorize as you're playing what was what, and then over time you will then get the knowledge as to where everything is, sort of, and what it is if you're going towards that route. But pretty neat, all the same. I'm kind of up in the air whether I want to rock this out or give it a shot or not, but probably not, being that it's just me and Matt, and that means our chances of succeeding are pretty damn low unless we get a rando who helps carry us through and have a great time with it. But if you've got 3 friends and you've played Elden Ring or other, Dark Souls type games, this might be right up your alley because it does look like a lot of fun to play and just have a laugh with your buds and get 20, 30 hours in worth of adventure while you kill the 6 or 8 Night Lords, whatever amount it is, and have a good time in the lands in between from Software Game. By golly, looks pretty good.
It does look pretty good. I'm feeling the exact same way you are. Like when we first talked about it, like, oh man, kind of cool. And I sort of got more excited, and then I started leveling off again. And I don't know, like if you said, dude, I just bought it, you have to get it, let's play, I would do it. But on my own, I don't know if I'm going to be the guy who would say that and send that picture to you. So I don't know. That one looks cool, but a game I'm absolutely going to get and play is Haneda Girl, which came out actually last week. I missed the release of it because I was talking about something else. But Haneda Girl came out on the 23rd, developed and published by Studio Koba for PC. This is a game I streamed the demo of a couple months ago. It is where you play as a young girl who is really good at this arcade game called Haneda Girl. And the professor reaches out to her. He says, I'm the one who built Haneda Girl, and the cyberspace dimension is under attack by the Hackernauts. And since you're the best player, I need you to get into the game, and now you are Haneda Girl, going through and blasting the Hackernauts. Now, what does that mean? This is a very fast and intense and brutal action platformer, and it is so goddamn fun. It is so cool. If you love anything that is fast-paced and one-hit kill deaths, and anything like maybe something like Super Meat Boy, but you are on the offense in this game. If you like something like Katana Zero, which I absolutely loved when I played it a couple years ago, that's what this reminds me of. It's very scrunched and crunched 8-bit type of graphics, but it's popping. It's colorful, it's neon, it's flashy, it's so cool. You're running around, you can run around as the Haneda Girl with your sword. You got like a little helmet and a sword, and you can do these cool dashes like through the air, like almost Celeste style dashes. But that dash is also an attack, and you can also do executes. You can like kick open doors and knock enemies down and then run up and execute them. And that's so cool. But like I said, one-hit kills for you when you're Haneda Girl. Man, that sucks. What if there's a big turret over here and I want to tank some damage? Well, that's when you just hit the little right trigger there. Boom. And you instantly call in and launch yourself into Mother, which is this giant mech that comes with like a big old Gatling gun. And now you're not nearly as mobile, but you can stand there. You can take some damage because she has a regenerating shield, which will go tick, 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 tick. But in that meantime, you can go and just waste everything in that room. And then when you're ready, maybe if Mother's shield is going down and you're like, nah, I'm out of here. Hit that right trigger again. You launch out as Haneda Girl, and then you can do your air dashes because your air dashes refresh when you're in Mother. Mother's shield refreshes when you're Haneda Girl. It is so intense and so crazy. The music in this game is absolutely bumping. If you love some like retrowave, but like thumping and techno and awesome, dude, Haneda Girl is it. Obviously, I played the demo, like I said, and I'm already in love with this game. But I watched a really good review from a channel called James, M.I.S.C., real small channel. His review was awesome, and it gave you the graphics, the speed of Haneda Girl, the chunkiness of Mother. It was everything. The music was bumping all the way through. This isn't the kind of game for everybody, and it really isn't the kind of game for me. Like, I'm not a fast action platformer guy. Like, I'm not a Super Meat Boy type of a guy. But man, when I played Katana Zero, I fell in love with that. This is that. Plus, it's got like a spin on it, because not only do you have fast Haneda Girl and thick, chunky, durable Mother, but also each stage you go into, your job is to kill all the enemies. And sometimes these stages are big. So you can go like up and to the left and sneak around as Haneda Girl, but maybe you can go down to the right and bust through with Mother, or do it in any kind of way that you want. Like, find your own path through. I think the last couple of demo stages that I played, I started going like up and left like the whole time. And I was like, you know what if I go down right? Oh, it's a totally different kind of zigzag type of a thing. Instead of kicking open a door and having to go across the room to get to this guy, oh, if I go from the other way, then I drop down a shaft and I'm right behind him. So it made this part easier, that part more difficult. It's so cool. There's like little hidden CD collectibles all throughout, in super secret collectible zone areas that unlock more story for you. Different abilities for Haneda and Mother, which I had no idea was going to be in this game. Like, Mother can get a big shotgun. She can get this. She can get that. Haneda Girl has different abilities when she's warping around. Dude, it's so much more than I thought it was going to be, and I was already in love with it. So this game also, like I said, it's on PC, $15. Everybody can spend $15 on a really cool, awesome game from an indie game company that's making just the coolest goddamn thing. Go watch some Haneda Girl gameplay reviews. Watch me play it if I'm streaming it. I might not be streaming it, I don't know, but I'm definitely going to be playing it because Haneda Girl is here, and it's out, and it's awesome. Check it out.
I'll definitely check that out. But of course, if you for some reason don't want to check that out right this second, there are a million other games for you to check out because we got a bajillion free games going on right now. And I want to start off with the PlayStation Plus games, man. I am so stoked, and I pumped my fists in the air because I was patient and I had the suspicion it was going to happen, and it did. June's games are NBA 2K25.
Yes, I knew it. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, all right. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
Oh, hell
right.
yeah. Nice.
Destiny 2, The Final Shape. And then the one I was waiting for, Alone in the Dark.
Hell yeah.
It has come to the PlayStation Plus games catalog for free for June. This is that game I hemmed and hawed about. I was in the middle of a lot of other stuff. It got really middling ratings, but it had that vibe. It really felt like a game for me. I love that genre, and I wanted to check it out. But I had that suspicion that it was going to come to Epic or somewhere for free. I just felt it in my bones, and here we are. It's on PlayStation, so I will for sure be playing that this year. Very excited about it. And on a side note, if you have extra, which I do, we also got Crabs, Another Man's Crab's Treasure, whatever that one is. You got that. You got Skull and Bones, Destiny 2, the Legacy Collection, Grand Theft Auto 3, and then I think if you're Premier, you get the Mist and Riven as well. But so several games. I can go play Skull and Bones, man. I can see what the hype was
Skull
all
and Bone
about.
time, baby. Let's go.
Yeah,
we can co-op in Skull and Bones if that's a feature in there.
Well, I don't know, man. I think you played it like once, so I'm not sure.
I bought it and I've never played it, but I found the disc and I was like, hey, I did buy Skull and Bones. Now we can play together, maybe.
We can play together and be buds. So yeah, there you go. If you got the PlayStation Plus membership or the extra or Premier, you've got a whole bunch of games available to you coming up here in the next couple days. So look out for that.
And man, look out for the games on Game Pass, because I'm going to tell you, it's a 4-gamer week this week, but I'm going to say it's a half-see. Half of these games are great. Half of these games totally suck butt.
You're such a liar.
Come on. First up in the good section, we got Tales of Ken Zarazao. That's that game we've talked about a million times. Then you got To a T, which is the latest game from, I think it's Takahashi, but it's the guy who did Katamari Damacy. And you're playing as like a T-posing teenager named Teen, and you like have to do mini games and puzzles to get him to basically still be able to live his life even though he's stuck in a T-pose. This looks goofy, just like his Wadham game that came out. And then we get into the sucky games. Games just are the worst, just the dirt dog worst. Golly, Metaphor ReFantasio. Who could ever like that game? What kind of a buster would even play that game to completion? I joke, I fuss, and I kid. It's just a bit, everybody. It's a bit. Don't at me. If you were waiting to dip your toes into this, check it out. It's on the Game Pass. And then also, Tom Clancy's The Division 2. If you like noodly armed people just running around like noodle armed men. This is
the time, man, because you got to stop. I think you used the noodly arm thing as an excuse because you didn't want to play Division 2 with your pal Eric anymore. You said, nah, Division 1 I did because we did it. I just think you just were like, nah, I just don't want to do Division 2. You got it for free now. There's no excuse anymore. And they just released a brand new expansion called the Fight for Brooklyn or whatever the hell it is. That just came out, which allows you just to instantly level up to max level 40 and get right on into the expansion, which, of course, I haven't done. I've done all the other stuff, well, at least a ton of other stuff, because I played the game extensively, but I haven't done this. This is the perfect opportunity to get back in there, get undercover, shoot guns, get them cleaners, because guess what? The cleaners came, and they're trying to take over that safe spot in the Brooklyn area, and you ain't about to let them have it. So we're going to kill them firefighters and psychopaths, and we're going to make sure we keep Brooklyn safe.
I really, honestly, I don't understand what the disconnect was, because we played Division 1 a lot. I enjoyed it a lot. We even did that DLC where you were going down like the basement floors, and that was a lot of fun. I played that a lot on my own, even with just randos. And then Division 2 came out, and I went, I'm not into it anymore. I don't know what the deal was, because thinking back on Division 1, it's all good times. It's all great memories. It
was all fun.
It's the banner on my PlayStation profile still. Yeah. It will never not be that. So I don't know. It's a bit. I knew it would get a rise out of Eric for both of those games, but
yeah, it makes me sad. What could have been, man? The days we could have had.
But 4 great games there on the Game Pass this week.
And with that, there's even more. It's not over yet. Over on Amazon, free games. You got a bunch of games I don't know about. You got Trinity Fusion. Sounds really cool. You got Master Plan Tycoon. Not sure what the hell that is, but you know what? You're a tycoon and you got to have a master plan. Maybe it has to do with you being like a really suave businessman and you got to make decisions to keep all these businesses going. I don't know. Liberté. I feel like I should know what that one is. It sounds familiar to me, but I don't know what it is. You got Jennifer Wild, Unlikely Revolutionaries. Jennifer, she's wild and she's going to revolutionize something. It's going to be crazy.
I was hoping that this was the Hopa alert, which it's not, though. But I looked it up, and it says, I just have to read this because, like, what is going on here? In 1921, young French artist Jennifer Chevalier becomes embroiled in death, espionage, and revolution, assisted by the ghost of Oscar Wilde. So you're, like, hanging out with a ghost and going through revolution? I don't know, but that sounds kind of cool.
Sounds like Ghost Rider, but, like, different. It's pretty cool.
Definitely different.
Whatever the hell that is. And then last but not least on Amazon Free Games, you got Golf with Your Friends. And I don't know much about it. It's pretty, what do you think? It's a cool little chibi head golf game. And you're golfing with friends and you're going through different courses and having a blast. And doing it with buds and pals and lasses and lads and having a great time. So if you want any of those quirky, strange, cool free games for this month on Amazon, they're yours.
Speaking of quirky, strange, and cool and free, we also got Epic's games this week, and Eric's notes did not load up because he would have talked about these first. We got Limbo. If you want to be a shadow child and get impaled by like big spider legs, woo boy, that's the game for you. And then Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which neither of us can really talk about. It was cool for a couple hours, then we stopped playing it.
It was cool, and that was just another weird one we stopped playing. The one I don't understand because it was a fine game, and the storytelling and questing seemed fine. Everything was fine. But I don't know, maybe it was too slow. I don't know what the problem was with that. I just felt like the clip wasn't our pace. And
I think there was definitely that. For me, it was a little too goofy for one thing. And then just the fact that it was a D&D campaign, like I've said, oh man, that guy died. No, he didn't. You just made up a guy who died. But then, like you said, I think the pace was a little slow because I remember you blew up the ocean and then you had to go into the blown up ocean and like talk to a skeleton. but then you had to get like his 15 crew members together, and then you had to go on a ship, and then you had to go fight a guy, and then he teamed up with you to like blow a horn, and then you had to go into a dungeon. And I was just like, I'm ready for the next biome, but we were fighting those sharks for like 10 hours.
Over and over. We were doing, it seemed a little long in the tooth. And like you said, there were no stakes. I think that was our original grumble.
Yeah.
It was all just a D&D game. There's no stakes. I don't really care about anything or anybody because none of it's real. So I don't know, but it was fun. It was a gorgeous game, tons of weapons, lots of, new cool baddies to fight and have fun with. So it's one of those ones I wish maybe I could say I'd play it again, like maybe just do it solo and just run through it. But there's never ending games. It never stops. So
I was just thinking the same thing. Like I remember the two classes that I picked were both really cool because I had the mushroom dude and then I can't even remember the other class I picked, but I really enjoyed the abilities. And I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to get to the capstones. And then I'll really be a badass. And we never even got close. I think we probably got like halfway through. So I don't know. I feel bad about it, but at the same time, like you said, I could never say, "Oh, I'm definitely going to go play it," because even if there weren't never-ending games, it doesn't have that pull. Like I want to give it a second chance, but it's just one that missed. I don't know.
Just not happening. And just as a side note, Matt, the show notes are updated, but I knew you'd want the Epic, so I just took the Amazon one.
Okay. You always usually start with it.
I'm just being a nice guy. I used to start, but I was like, he ain't even got Amazon, so what's he gonna talk about? He don't know. He don't know what's going on Amazon.
That's true. I don't know. I always get my stuff from Wario64, but he posts it like the day after we record this. So like, where the hell do you get all your info from? I want to follow that person so I can get the info too.
My Amazon, it's GameSpot.
Oh, I'm not following
GameSpot
them.
puts out.
I don't follow big companies. I don't like that. IGN, GameSpot,
I know.
Rock, Paper, Shotgun. You're all dead to me. Phooey.
None of you exist. So yeah, tons of free games, Matt. Everywhere.
And man, speaking of games, here's the thing I know Eric didn't watch. Here's the thing I know he didn't even know about until he booted up the show notes.
No, you're funny, man. I did know about OTK and its GamesExpo that it had. I knew it existed. And I intended to watch it, and I totally missed it. And then I went, oh, no, I forgot to tune in. So I tuned in because it was still going. However, it was the last, 7 minutes of it. So I watched the last 7 minutes of Bruce Green and the gal, I'm not sure what her name was, talk about, 2 last games. And then I went, that's okay. I'll surely go catch up and watch it later. And now we're here. And then you put in the show notes OTK, and I went, damn it.
I did almost the exact same thing because I heard that it was coming out. I was like, hey, tomorrow OTK Games has their expo. And I went, sweet, that'll be something easy to talk about on the show. And I completely forgot about it until Tuesday night when I saw the things you had put in here. And I went, wasn't there something else? And I scrambled and brambled through my blue skies and went, oh yeah, OTK Games. And I pulled up the YouTube version of it. And it said it was 3 hours and 45 minutes long. And I went, and granted, the first 45 minutes was a pre-show. And I think the last hour was playing games with developers and talking. So it wasn't like the show. But last night I was watching Dynamite and trying to watch this in between commercials. So I'll give you a few quick hits of games that I pulled out. And a lot of these are straight from the beginning of the show. Because I think the big hits were up front. And then it kind of meandered through some genres and stuff, just like these shows have been doing lately. But one I'm going to tell you about, don't roll your eyes when I first say it, it's Critteruptors. And this looks like a Pokemon game, essentially. You're like a little 3D character, kind of low poly, and you got the little monster behind you. Okay, but then when the battles come up, you switch to playing like a handheld, and it's all 2D pixel art. You have your monsters on one side, the other monsters on the other side. But the kicker, for me, is there's a little timeline on the top of that bar there. So when the monster on the other side starts charging up his water spit, you can attack him with one of your little quick fire skills, and it'll interrupt him. It'll knock him all the way back to the front of the timeline. It's the thing we love most in the world, Eric.
Oh, yeah. Grandia 2. Oh, man. Take me back.
Grandia 3 for me, but yeah. It's Star Renegades also. That's.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Next one is, I'm going to give a little intro for this one. Has anybody seen those ads on YouTube for that fake game that's oh, it's Pokemon, but it looks super dark. Oh, man, your Pikachu actually turned into a monster and ate you. And the game it's advertising for is not like that at all. But here's a game called The Backworld that basically looks just like that. It's Undertale kind of style, but it's super creepy, super like disturbing looking. There's like twisted, weird monsters in there, and it's got Dragon Quest combat, which Undertale did too. But you have like almost Earthbound style sprites and stats for your characters at the bottom. But when you're doing damage to the enemies or they're doing damages to you, those sprites animate really well. Like it's just a character portrait, but when you get hit, you see that it animates so cool and it shakes and there's effects. This one looks awesome. I don't know. It looks incredible. Go watch a trailer of it. Let's see. What else can we say? A new trailer for Neo Junk City, which is another game I streamed the day before I streamed Haneda Girl back in the day. A couple other quick ones. One called Don't Wake the Beast, where you seem to be a character who is delving into a dungeon to get treasures and stuff, but everything you do makes noise. So you have to not wake the beast because it's like this big dragon thing. And if you wake it up, it's going to start charging you and it's chewing up the dungeon and you have to run the hell out of there. Looks really cool, really unique. A game called Clown Around, where you are playing as a clown in like a first-person goofy shooter, like low-poly characters and everything, and you got to go prank your specific target. So it's like Hitman, but goofy. The first bits of the trailer, it showed you like gathering items, like a bowling ball and a cake and a this and a that. And then you would use those to like, you'd use the horn to scare the man who'd run over here to knock over a thing that you could roll the bowling ball down that would smash up on the window. And you would use this bounce pad to like jump in and then like flip the cake in this dude's face. And then when you pranked the target, everyone started flipping out like wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men, going nuts, just crazy. And the last one I'll mention, there's so many more. There's like a million games in here. But the last one I'll say is Shade Protocol, which is like an action platformer, Mega Man X style, but you got a sword, you're swishing and slashing around. The thing that is so cool about this, though, is you have some kind of move where you do like a slash, big, loud slash, and it cuts the screen in half. And the sides slide together. So, like, if normally the screen has a too high jump for you to cross, but you slash it and then they slide together, now that jump's not high anymore and you can proceed on. I can't explain that very well, but gee, watch the trailer of that one. It looked really cool. Really great pixel art in that one, too. Awesome. A million other games, Missile Command Delta, all these other things, so many cool things.
And that's not even it. This is the crazy part, everybody. OTK just had their little event, but this coming up week, there are nonstop event after event after event, all leading up to Friday's Summer Games Fest hosted by Jeff Keighley. So if you're ready to see a ton of indie games getting released, and then double A's and whatnot or whatever, you're going to want to tune into all the different events throughout this coming up week. Any of the big game sites will have like a schedule posted that you can go check out. I'm not going to talk about it here because I'm not kidding you. There's a whole bunch of them on all the different days. And of course, Friday is the big Summer Games Fest with Jeff Keighley, where we'll see, I'm sure, a few really, really cool games announced. Nothing like we'll see at the Game Awards, but I anticipate we're going to get a couple really cool surprises, and it's going to be great. So I just wanted to tie it in here that, you may have missed this one, but you're about to see a whole bunch more if you figure out when they are and tune in next week. And with that, I was going to bring up a cool little thing, Matt. Something nice, something a little neat. CD Projekt Red has just announced that they've gone full pre-production on the sequel to Cyberpunk 2077. They've got 96 of their 730 employees focused now on this title. And you say, yeah, that's not a lot, the main, but of course that's like 430 of them are currently working on Witcher 4 because that's their next big release. But having 96 peeps now dedicated to the sequel means that things are actually starting to move and groove. Stuff's getting put in, and I'm just excited. I know it's still years out, but it's exciting just to hear that they've announced it officially. It's in pre-production, and we're going to see a sequel to 2077, and that makes me feel real good in the heart.
It absolutely makes me feel good in the heart, too. And another thing that makes me feel good in that old heart, I think this is the first announcement of it, but Front Mission 3 Remake finally has a release date, which is June 26th. Oh, it's almost coming out for my birthday. Now, I did watch the release date trailer for it, and it looks pretty good. Our Front Mission buddy, James, told me that Front Mission 1 and 2 remakes were not that great. Obviously, we're both hoping for really good stuff from Front Mission 3. It looks pretty good. I feel like the graphics look better than the 1 and 2, which kind of looked ropey and kind of jankety. I don't know. I have high hopes. I hope I'm not disappointed, but that's a legendary one from the past I got to get. And it's, hey, man, happy birthday to me. That's what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, I hope it's good. Well, fingers crossed for you when that eventually releases here in the coming future. But a bit of sad news. All right. And I'll admit, it's not sad news for me. I didn't really care. But sad news nonetheless. EA has officially canceled its Black Panther game and shut down Cliffhanger Studios, who was the individuals, etc., making the Black Panther game. I hadn't heard any word on it in a long time since it was officially announced that they were going to do this, and then of course, established Cliffhanger Studio to make Black Panther. But apparently something wasn't going right, whatever the hell happened, and now the game is canceled as well as the studio, so sucks. Hopefully everybody lands on their feet. But now we're not seeing a Black Panther game, and they just stated basically it's with the way the economy is moving, the way that the gamers' attention is moving, that they just don't feel that this game's going to succeed. So they went ahead and canceled it before it went any further, which, while sucking, I appreciate that. Like, don't put out a crappy game. Don't, screw people. Well, you screw people over. It doesn't matter. You get screwed no matter what. People get screwed. It's a bad time. Bad time.
It would suck too if, hey, we re-released it, it got like a 7, and then we immediately closed the studio. Well, now we canceled it and closed the studio also. So both are a bad end. I had never heard that there was a Black Panther game in development, so this was a surprise to me. And I went, all right, what about Cliffhanger Studio? Let me look them up, see what else they've done, because it sounds familiar. It sounds like a studio whose games I played. And this is the one thing they were made to do.
They were made to do this.
And then they closed it. And the other weird thing that I put in a note here is EA left their website up. So it's this big cheery website saying, hey guys, we're Cliffhanger Studios. We're in Seattle, and there's like a beautiful shot of like the mountain, and like, wow, we can't wait to bring you this awesome stuff. I'm like, if you do something like this and close the studio and fire everybody, you got to take that down. You can't leave that up. And I know that seems like the bad thing. Oh, you're wiping their existence out, but you can't let people stumble across that and be like, oh, they're still around. No, you can't leave the happy message up when it's all bad things. I don't know. Seemed like bad form to me.
Yeah, I agree. But maybe there's just, a lot of wheels and cogs moving, and they just hadn't got to it yet. Plus, obviously, anybody from Cliffhanger is already gone, so they're not going to shut it down. And EA's humongous and probably just wasn't on their mind at the moment.
There's always somebody, you send an email to IT and they turn the little key. And
that's true. All gone. But yeah, definitely crappy news. And I wanted to get it over before we went to a bit of good news. The bit I care about, the biggest bit. And that is something we already suspected, and it's already been rumored and talked about, but it's official now. The original voice actor for Yosuke, Yuri Lowenthal, and now it's been updated, Matt, just so you know.
I put it in there too.
The voice actress for Chie also just came out and said that neither one of them has been reprised for their roles, their characters in the remake for Persona 4. And Lowenthal even said he begged to come back and do his part, but they said they were moving on with new voice actors. So there you go. The cat's out of the bag. It is official. Persona 4 Remake is happening, and they're doing just like they did with Persona 3 Reload. They're using new voice actors, which part of me is a little sad, but a part of me is like, no, they did a great job with Persona 3 Reload with the new voice actors, etc. So I have confidence they'll do that again. I'm not like, oh, they're going to ruin everything. I don't feel that they will. Plus, let's be honest, it's been, at least 8-10 years? These actors, actresses, they're probably not going to sound exactly the same anymore, so it would be a little strange. Hell, Troy Baker did Kanji, right? Or whatever his name was?
I don't remember, honestly.
Oh, that's right, because you, of course, I'm the weirdo who does American voices.
We played it in English because that was the only option at the time. Mm-hmm. So I was torn on it too, because, when I read that, I'm like, oh, that sucks. It's great that Persona 4 Remake is happening, but man, Yosuke only sounds like Yosuke. And I'm like, but if Yosuke always sounded like Yosuke, am I going to play it in Japanese now? Because he's not going to sound like Yosuke, but he's also not going to sound like Yosuke if he's in English too. So it's very weird, very strange. But just like you said, as sad as it is that these people aren't getting it, and I could see Yuri though, because he's a big name now. He used to be, kind of like, oh, Mr. Bitparts Jones, but he's Spider-Man. He's a big name. He's the guy you get. So I could see them just going, okay, we'll tone it down a little bit.
And Troy Baker.
I was going to say, and if Troy Baker was Kanji, then, obviously he's the biggest dog that there is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure the ladies have come up in the world too.
I believe so. I think I heard it mentioned that they do a whole bunch of characters nowadays too. So you got a lot of voice actors and actresses who at the time were probably just mid-level to low level And now they're through the roof, kings and goddesses of their craft.
And Mr. 8 years ago for Persona 4, Persona 4 Golden came out in 2012. So Persona 4 Original came out way before that, my friend.
God.
So
Jesus.
we are old men, Mr. Eric. We are old men.
This sucks.
But like you said, as long as more Persona 4 is coming, and it's the remake of Golden, which it couldn't not be, and Marie is there, I'm going to be happy. Marie and Rise, whew, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. And like a lot of people said, and I do agree with this to some extent, it's a more cozy experience.
I loved it for that.
Yeah, Persona 4 feels like you're hanging out with your high school buddies all the time. There's not so much weird side stuff. It's like your buddies and your bros, and
you're just doing stuff.
Yeah.
And the cicadas are doing their thing, and it's rainy and gloomy sometimes, sunny sometimes. It was just, and you're just in this, like you said, a beat up old town. There's literally an entire screen that you could go to that's just clothes shops and nothing. Just cause.
And the big things you do is like go camping. One of the big storylines is, hey man, I got a moped. Now we can go down to the lake. It's not like, oh, we flew out to Hawaii or off on here and off over there. I don't know. It's smaller and it's cooler. Maybe not my exact favorite one, but it's still really goddamn good. It's like a 99 if my favorites are 100.
Now, this one competes for me. 5 is my favorite period, but
yeah,
I think 4's music sometimes I feel is better than all the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
But then some days I feel like 5 is better, but then some days 4 is better again. So it kind of just depends on my mood. And I think it's when I'm in that local jive and just that I don't know, just strange. And that's when Persona 4's music really just pops for me.
A lot of the Persona 4 music, it's just, if you compare track by track, Persona 4 one is better. But overall, I like 5's vibe more.
Mm-hmm.
When I hear Signs of Love or whatever that one is called, and it's a bright, shiny day in Persona 4 Golden, and you just run, it's like, man, I don't even want to go do anything. I just want to run through every environment. I'm like, oh man, there's that guy, there's that old man over there, there's the cat, there's this, there's that. I just want to just vibe. So it's good. It'll be good.
And in general, just every day's better at Junes. Just the way it is. It's a fact. You can't debate it.
It's one of the games with one of the very few like children I actually like the little girl. I actually liked her. She was cool.
Yeah, same here. Really dug her. She didn't get annoying at all and was very accepting of just what the hell is happening for the most part. And her and her dad, the whole relationship, I don't know. It was just good stuff, man. Can't wait. I hope the remake is a little more jazzed up than 3 Reload. 3 Reload was awesome, don't get me wrong. They did a fantastic job, but I kind of hope they even go a little step closer to, Persona 5, like graphically and everything else. I don't know if they will or can, but I got my fingers crossed.
We'll see. We'll see. Just like we'll see what's next for Uncle Matt's Trivia Corner. If you remember, last week's question was, in the 1986 arcade game Outrun, what type of car does the player control that is a Ferrari, Testarossa, Spider? Next up, this week's question. In the point-and-click adventure game Beneath a Steel Sky, what is the name of Robert Foster's robot companion?
Beneath the Steel Sky is Robert Foster. Argo.
It is actually... This is a game that's been on my radar for a long time. I always hear good stuff about it. Maybe do I have it on GOG? Maybe. But this is one of those really cool old school point-and-click adventure games.
I was going to say, I never played that one or heard of it, so I was just in the dark, Matt, in the dark.
But if you know the answer to that question, if you have any other questions for us, comments, concerns, mailbag questions, we do have a mailbag question, but we're running a little bit long in the tooth right now. So we'll save that for another day when our bacon needs saving. Send that to us via the email, thirdshiftme@gmail.com, on the Twitter machine @ThirdShiftME. Find us on Facebook under Third Shift. Hit up the Discord. Hit up the Patreon. If I'm streaming, hit up a stream. Oh, baby, I'll be playing Xenogears and having a great time. Hit us up in real life. I don't care. Knock on my door. I won't answer it. Shout through the door. I really like Third Shift. I'm like, okay, that sounds great. Go away now. Thank you. Bye.
That's right. Thanks. You need to go away because I'll call the police on you. I won't, though. Because I know right after you get done harassing Matt, you're going to go to a computer and you're going to hit Patreon up and you're going to say, well, that was just a gosh golly good time. Matt is scared in his home now and he won't leave. He's probably peeing his pants. So I'll give you a tip. I'll give you $1, $2, $3, any of those bucks to keep the lights on, pay the bills, keep us rocking and rolling. Free of charge from our own banks, of which case the wife should be real sad. You know, it's a whole thing. Y'all know the deal. Y'all know what's up. And you've helped us out all these years, and we appreciate it so much. But I'm telling you, I've said it a billion times at this point. If you can't do that, that's fine too. You can support us in so many other ways, such as giving us a mailbag question like so many others have done in the past. You can go over and give us 5-star ratings on the iTunes, 5-star ratings on the Spotify. You can also go watch Matt over on Twitch playing games, having a great time. And if you got Amazon freaking Prime, you can give them $5 for a free. You can do all those things. And that's free of charge, folks. That costs you nothing. Hell, you can go to Discord and just come have some conversations and do some fun stuff with us. That's also really cool. Gives us some energy, makes us feel really damn good, and we have a great time with you. So you know what? Do some of that stuff, and we appreciate you for sure.
And of course, you can always listen to the very next episode, which will be dropping on around the 5th of June on iTunes, on Stitcher, on Podbean, on Spotify, and on YouTube. And as I always say, hey, if you like what we're doing, like to help us out, please give us a like, a rating, a review, a comment, a subscription, any kind of good thing on any of those good services, because it does help us out. We really do appreciate it. And there's one last game that I wanted to shout out on here. Unemployment Simulator 2018. It is not what you expect from the word simulator in the title. Go watch a trailer for this. The one thing I wrote down about the game was WTF. Very strange things are going on in that game. I can't wait to check that one out.
I love Unemployment. That's my favorite thing ever. And I'm sure a lot of you listening probably love Unemployment too. So yeah, go check that out. And while you're checking that out, I will just reiterate one more time. We want some 5 stars this year, folks. Get in there. I know there are folks who listen who have not done it. Trust me, I know. I do know for sure that there's quite a few folks who haven't. Just take a couple seconds and get on there and help us out at the Apple Podcasts and all that good stuff, because it helps us immensely. And I threatened my own body last time, and I can't threaten you all. I promised I wouldn't. So all I'll say is, I'll bet if you did give us a 5-star review, you're going to have a weekend that's glorious. You're going to see a beautiful cloud in the sky. You're going to see a rainbow drifting across that, and you're going to see a lake with some beautiful exotic animals inside of it and trees rustically just blowing in the breeze. And you're going to go, God damn, this is what I deserve because I gave him a 5-star review. And you do deserve it. And this is what you will see. So maybe listen to me and go do that. Okay? Just saying. I don't know.
Know that. There's nothing else to say but.
Don't
forget to say.
Shut up and sit down.
Beautiful trees is blowing. Rainbows and clouds. All for you.